Eyes up, Guardian, but this time the warning isn't coming from the Traveler, the Witness, or some new cosmic horror. It's coming from Sony. So we just got word from Bungie that they are no longer going to be supporting Destiny 2 after June 9th. The final update will be coming out. So no more new maps, no more new shaders, weapons, nothing. Like the game is not getting any new features or modes or anything else added to it. It's officially done being supported. They'll probably still do some maintenance in the background just to keep the game running, but nothing new will be coming to the game. And it seems like they're going to take Bungie as a studio Sony is and kind of focus its efforts into Marathon, because there's not even any kind of rumor or inkling that they're even going to start development on Destiny 3, if at all. And there's also rumors that the studio is going to be facing significant layoffs coming up soon. So it seems like they're going to like really just take that studio and just downsize the hell out of it. And what's ever remaining will be working on Marathon. And that could be Bungie's last game. If that doesn't work out, which it doesn't seem like it is, they could shutter the studio altogether or turn them into like some kind of support studio. So over on Bungie's website, we have a complete breakdown of what's going on with the game itself and the franchise as a whole right now. So let's look into that. We'll go over it. All right, so this is on Bungie's actual website, bungie.net. So here's a whole breakdown of everything. So we have Bungie 2. Every end is a new beginning. This is on May 1st. So for almost 12 years, we have had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. Through our ups and downs, surprises, and triumphs, building Destiny alongside our players has been a monumental privilege. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. As our focus turns towards the new beginning for Bungie, we will begin work on incubating our next game. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin the new journey as a studio. As our focus turns towards a new beginning, we will begin work incubating our next game. To that end, on June 9th, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2 to begin the new journey as a studio. Though active development will be concluding, we will ensure that Destiny 2 remains playable just as the original Destiny is today. Many changes in the final update will aim to ensure that Destiny 2 is a welcoming place for players to return to. We are proud of Destiny 2, the places that took us, and the legacy that's created. Because of all of you, our universe is built on years of shared stories, adventures, and victories. From the Cosmodrome to the Pale Heart to the Lawless Frontier, we have forged lifelong memories and friendships with you all. We are incredibly grateful to everyone who made the journey with us. From the deepest parts of our hearts, thank you, and we'll see you in the stars. So it looks like to celebrate the final update for the game, they're going to have some kind of big celebration called the Monument of Triumph. So here's what the dev team has to say about it. Since Destiny 2 launch, Guardians have turned back the darkness, defeated gods, shattered blades, banished nightmares, outplayed Savathun at chess, and forged legendary stories across the Sol system. On June 9th, Destiny 2 Monument of Triumph will be available to all players. We're inviting all Guardians to take place in a celebration of these accomplishments. Legends, dragons, renegades, conquerors, new lights, and everyone in between. So here's a bunch, I guess, new stuff coming with the final update of the game. So we have so they're changing us. So rediscovering Soul. We've been embracing the mission of making the update feel meaningful, looking back at many of the requests from players have shared with us over the years while finding ways to bring them to life. So it looks like they're redesigning the home screen of the game, actually like the portal when you open up and look at the entire map. We also have the Pantheon 2.0. So a new Pantheon is coming as a permanent addition with a fresh slate of bosses to challenge and overcome. So on June 9th, that's the last update. Oh, they actually have more stuff coming. So June 9th is the final update, but it looks like they're having more stuff added on June 13th and the 16th. So June 9th, the first slate of bosses becomes available with 2 activities, each featuring a unique roster of bosses. On June 13th, we'll be calling the Gauntlet, the full lineup of bosses encounters in a single activity. Okay. So on June 16th, encounter rotation begins. Players can attempt featured single boss encounters for rewards. So we also have an update for raid and dungeon loot updates. So all raids and dungeon weapons and armors have been revisited to bring them to modern standards of full tier parity, set bonuses, new perks, and more. Crafted weapons will have an upgrade path for tier 1 to 5, with more information coming in a future article. Weekly feature raids and dungeons return, giving players additional opportunities for high tier rewards each week. We have all the details and specifics planned for an upcoming TWID this week in Destiny. So it looks like we also have an update on Destinations, a trip down memory lane, to bring them to modern standards with full tier parity, set bonuses, new perks, and more. Some destinations will have distortions, a new addition to bring more variety, and a touch more challenge to your time planet side. Distortion also brings unique rewards to earn for participating beyond your slate of destination drops. So we also have new aspects. So Solar Hunter, Crackshot, Void Warlock, Soul Siphon, Solar Titan, Shield Burst, new Hunter Melee, Void Hunter, Phantom Surge, new grenades, all class standards, Slice Wire grenades, all classes, Stasis Shatter grenades. So it also looks like we might be getting some new abilities. So Warlock, Titan, and Hunter are all getting some new love. Mid-Spun will interact with Threadling grenades, Ward of Dawn is getting a complete rework. Trapper's Ambush has new capabilities and more. I have no idea what that is. I haven't played Destiny in a while. The last time I really dove into Destiny was the Final Light, the Final Shape. It looks like they might be elevating some exotics too. So it says all exotic armors earned since Edge of Fate launch will automatically be upgraded to have tier 5 stats. We made some changes to a handful of exotic armors. As an example, what if Warlocks could throw 2 Nova Bombs in quick succession to create even larger explosion? More of this in the future with TWID, which is this week in Destiny. Various exotic weapons will receive a tuning pass, and many will be receiving Catalyst. So it looks like they're doing a bunch of overhaul to the portal as well. So all portal activities are still available to players via the portal nodes at the bottom of the director. We've taken deep pass on the portal's difficulty system to ensure players can approach the ops category and have fun with Destiny 2 while still being rewarded. We have 3 new game modes coming to the Crucible. I don't know why, because it's the last update, so like I guess people are going to play it for a little bit and then just dip out. 1 entry in our playlist rotation and 2 more available via private matches. Playlist Arena, gunplay centric with some old school Bungie PvP vibes. Private matches, Glass Cannon, a throwback to Destiny 1 balancing. Private matches software, third-person abilities only. So only like supers, melees are third-person, I think, too. So whatever attack you do in the game that's a third-person mode, like view, that's what this match will be, it sounds like. Think Mayhem, but a little more wild. So Mayhem, I believe, was a match in PvP where your supers would charge in like a few seconds. So people were constantly spamming supers. It was just complete chaos, but lots of fun. I remember playing it. It was a great time. So it looks like Iron Banner will run every 4 weeks. So I guess that'll still be like an automatic thing, I guess, without someone introducing. I guess it'd be like an automatic update. I don't know how they're going to keep running it every 4 weeks. Trials will appear on non-Iron Banner weekends. Both game modes feature tiered loot and new armor sets to earn. So I guess they're going to find a way to keep that in the game every couple weeks for it to pop in. Heavy Metal returns with a 3rd vehicle type, the Cabal Walker, a brand new map, mixed vehicle combat and vehicle selection. So a PvP map for just like vehicle mayhem. A full suite of competitive Crucible weapons will become tiered. And as mentioned above, a unique armor set has been added to incentivize more competitive play. I remember when I last started was into Destiny, it was not the Final Shape. It was like the expansion before that. Last Light, I think it was called. One with the 2 weird, like the one they them character, Nimbus, whatever the hell that was. Terrible expansion. I got back into it then, and even then PvP and Gambit were both just completely dead. Like Bungie abandoned those modes a long time ago and just never went back to them. Speaking of Gambit, they got Gambit Ops. Gambit is being upgraded to an Ops category and receiving a reward refresh. New armor to earn with unique set bonuses. We're reprising iconic Gambit weapons as tiered gear with new perks on them. I doubt anybody's going to jump back in. Gambit was like completely abandoned when I was back playing. It was during the Beyond Light expansion. I'll tell you what, whoever is in charge of marketing for Bungie needs a raise, because that expansion was hyped up so much and it looks so great. All the trailers and the vid docs and all that made that expansion look amazing. Actually playing it was like not that great of an expansion. It was very bland. It was like a solid like 7 out of 10 expansion, but their marketing team did a great job making that thing look like it was going to be huge. So what else we got? We got seasonal events. They're going to be retired, of course. No one's going to be there to update them. Eververse will still be around, of course. You can spend real world money. So microtransactions in the game. You can get skins for your Guardian, weapon skins, emotes, so, content packs. They did a bunch of like third-party stuff like Disney, I think, like Star Wars and the Avengers, stuff like that. If you want to spend real world money in the game, you can still do that, of course. Reward pass. So I think there was like a battle pass. They're probably going to do away with that soon. Blah, blah, blah. We have increased the number of cosmetic rewards pass, blah, blah. Armor ornaments, Destiny 2 the collection. So you'll be able to buy the entire Destiny 2 expansion. We are bundling all of Destiny 2 content packs into a singular purchase available on June 9th. It includes campaigns, dungeon keys, and 30th anniversary pack, and more. Individual content packs and expansions will also receive permanent markdown in June. So my thing is, Destiny 2, after a while it came out, they started, I believe it's Destiny 2. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was. They started sunsetting a whole bunch of like expansions and modes in the game. Like you can't even play the original Destiny 2 campaign, the Red War, because they sunsetted. They had to get rid of a lot of stuff to make room for new stuff. Piss a lot of people off. So I'm wondering if this big content pack is going to involve that stuff or not, or just what's available right now to one big bundle. Because like I said, they sunsetted a lot of stuff. Like, I wonder what they're going to do there. I'm going to check that out, because that'd be crazy if they were to bring back all the stuff they sunsetted into one big giant bundle or if they're just talking about the stuff that's available right now. So we'll see about that. They're bringing back Sparrow Racing. I never really cared about that, but I think they're bringing it back and making it a permanent thing. So there you go. If you want to race your Sparrows, go ahead. So here they're talking about this week in Destiny developer insights through launch. So they're going to keep doing it for a little bit, but eventually they're going to stop. So here's their last bit, thanking everybody. So Destiny 2 has been our home for many, many years. I've got a long relationship with Destiny. I'll go over it after this. The unknown can sometimes feel wild, even a bit scary at times, but these opportunities to explore the future are invigorating. As we look ahead, our commitment remains the same, to make games we and you are excited to play. From all of us here at Bungie, we cannot thank you enough for joining us on his journey throughout the Soul system. You'll find us Starside for years to come, per Audacia Astrasa, which means boldly going to the stars, I believe. So that is the quick little update coming June 9th for the final update for Destiny. Like I said, Bungie going over everything. So that's what we'll be getting in the final update. After that, we're not going to get anything else really, just a couple minor tweaks here and there. That's pretty crazy that after all these years, I think Destiny 1 launched back in 2014. So 2014 to 2026 was the lifespan of Destiny. That is insane. So here a tweet from Luke Smith, who was big at Bungie, the studio. He was in charge of the Taken King, I believe. The best expansion in Destiny, in my opinion, across the entire franchise. That had the best story, raid. It was just great. King's Fall raid was my favorite raid of the entire franchise. So him and Mark Noseworthy were big at this company. They both left in 2023 when the layoffs were coming. I think they both just resigned. He was also in charge of Destiny 2, that campaign, that first raid, I believe was all him. It was him and his team. So here he is now putting out a tweet saying, at its best, content was a machine to create memories and friendships. No new content stings. The pain is about losing a place where so many memories were made. It stings not because of what it was, but the realization of what it won't be. So he's also bummed no more content coming. This is actually a picture from the very first raid of the game, the Vault of Glass. I think the villain in that was Atheon, I think his name was, the final villain. I'll never forget, I was actually remember playing the Vault of Glass when it came out, and I was able to get a Galahorn from that raid and a Hawkmoon, I believe it's called, the hand cannon, which at the time when Destiny 1 came out, it had a partnership with PlayStation. So a lot of exclusive exotic armors and weapons, and I think actually like a couple maps and stuff were PlayStation exclusive, and the hand cannon Hawkmoon was a PlayStation exclusive. I got that and Galahorn during the raid in like one play, and it was fucking amazing, dude. So many great memories with that game. So we also have a lot of people commenting on the post. So we have Zevlar. She's a huge streamer. She plays a ton of Destiny. I used to watch her a lot. Endymion, High Guard aficionado, Jeff Keighley here. Just a lot of people going over, Destiny bulletin board and miss the times when we used to wonder what Luke and Mark were cooking for Destiny. Like I said, Mark, Noseworthy, and Luke, they work great together. Thank you for everything you did for the universe, Luke. I hope you're doing well. So a lot of people just sad and also sharing, I guess, happy memories of, their time in Destiny. Because, like I said, after this update, it's officially, unofficially coming to an end. The entire franchise, it seems like. Done. I know a lot of people are pissed at Marathon because they think Marathon's like the main catalyst for this happening. It is and it isn't, because Marathon, like here, we'll pull the Steam chart numbers. 10,723. That's not good. Not good at all. For a live service game, your peak was 77,000. That's like, look at all in the red. All in the red, all negative. It's not good. So that was also like I said, not the main catalyst, but a big catalyst for it. I don't know why Bungie decided to make it just a generic extraction shooter and just throw the Marathon name on there. I mean, they could have just made like an extraction shooter mode for Destiny maybe and put it in there. Because I know a lot of hardcore Destiny players who haven't made the switch from Destiny 2 to Marathon. A lot of people just don't want to play it. They don't want to play just a generic extraction shooter. There's so many out there. And also Arc Raiders took over too for a while there, and that just dominated everything extraction shooter wise. So this kind of launched in a market where there wasn't much really going for it at the time. It wasn't really going to go that crazy because Arc Raiders was just taking off like a fucking bat out of hell. So that kind of screwed it too. And it's just people they don't have faith in Bungie anymore as a studio. They haven't really put out a great expansion in a while, I feel like. So I don't know. But we're also seeing rumors that with the kind of the failure of Marathon, I don't think Sony's really ready to greenlight an entire new Destiny game, because live service games are expensive as hell to make, and lately we've been seeing they haven't been doing good. So, and Bungie as a studio has been losing money for Sony. They just had a $750 million impairment on them, which means it brings the value of the company down. So I don't think they're really in a rush right now to greenlight a new game under that studio. I don't think we're going to get a Destiny 3. I think eventually, because there's also rumors that there's going to be significant massive layoffs coming to Bungie studio soon. That's kind of why they probably stopped development or like updates on Destiny 2. A lot of the devs who are working on it are probably gonna get laid off. I'm gonna keep a small team around, probably just to do updates and stuff on Marathon. Eventually, if Marathon doesn't do good or really turn stuff around, I can see them shutting Marathon down too and just making Destiny or Bungie a support studio, or just completely shutting the studio down and taking whatever good talents from that studio after they shut it down and put them in different PlayStation studios. Does not look good for the future of Bungie Studios right now. They're also in Seattle, Washington, where it's expensive as hell to just run a company there and pay your employees. Seattle itself is just a huge city to be in, just to operate. It costs so much in taxes. It's like California Junior. So I know Sony doesn't want to be there probably. It's cost them a fortune to run that studio with very little good product coming out of it. I could really see them shutting down Bungie soon as a whole, because remember, they spent $3.6 billion buying the studio and have not seen any good come from it yet, and probably never will. This will probably go down as the worst studio purchase in Sony history, I believe. So I can really see them shutting this studio down very soon, in a few years, and just taking, like I said, whatever good talents left and just place them in different PlayStation studios throughout the world. Like I said, it sucks to see this happen. I was a huge fan of Destiny in the first launch. I remember getting it back in 2014 on the PS4. I actually bought the collector's edition, which came with this cool little ghost here. It hasn't been on in a while. Let's see if it turns on at all. Let's see. I'm going to turn on. Like you would be a blue light. Like all these lights would light up and the face right here would light up. And I can't get it to go. Like it's been sitting for a long time, since 2014. It's been actually up on my shelf over there on display, but I had to charge it for a little bit, but it won't come on. But if it came on, there's actually, if you look here, a speaker right there, and you'll actually get the voice of Peter Dinklage, who was the original voice of the Ghost back in when the game first launched in 2014. He had the most deadpan, no expression at all voice when he was doing the Ghost. They eventually got rid of him and hired Nolan North to actually do all the lines over again. I was a huge fan of Destiny when it came out. I loved it. I've been playing it from day one. I was so excited to play it. I did all the expansions. I was really deep into it. I kind of fell off a little while after Forsaken because it just too many things got in the way. Too much stuff was going on. I came back though, like every major expansion, I would dip back in. I probably bought every major expansion from Destiny 1 all the way through Destiny 2 up until the final shape. Bungie as a studio itself had just been too much. They've been wearing too much on like promoting like trans rights and gay rights and all this crazy shit. They hired a ton of DEI developers who don't know what they're doing, and the product showed for that, because a lot of their expansions came out. Like Beyond Light, they had a character called Nimbus, and it was like a they-them character, and it was just a stupid-ass character. Ronan, when the other guy with him was dumb. He was in the game for like 20 minutes and died. It was just not a great expansion. The final shape was good. Like at the end of it all, like the final shape was okay. It wasn't crazy. They nailed the landing, but it was a very good midway to end the game. Destiny 1, the Taken King, the 2, the Forsaken, that was just like a great time playing Destiny 2 and Destiny the game itself. Like that was so much fun, so much great activities and raids. It was just awesome. I always rocked the Titan. I did play for a Warlock for a while, but then I switched because I didn't have a lot of friends who played Destiny, so I'd always have to find randos online, and not everyone really didn't want to play the Titan class. It was like the third popular class. It went Hunter, Warlock, then Titan. So I used to play as a Titan a lot. That way I could find people to play with, because not many people were playing as Titan. So I can get on better raid teams. And I used to love playing like defense wise as a Titan, like the it was a bubble call. When you burst a bubble and everybody got in it, either healed you or made your weapons of light, bubble of light, I forget what it's called. You would launch that bubble, especially with Helm Saint 14. If you had that helm on, it made your bubble even better. It would make either like your health better or your weapons better. And when you would pop the bubble in a raid and use the weapons of light, it made your weapons do so much more damage, and it was clutch in a ton of raids. I used to love running defense like that and using that bubble as a super. It was, just great times, especially when I was playing Volta Glass. Like you jump in the middle, I burst that bubble open, people get in, get their weapons upgraded, and just go start shooting Atheon. Great memories of that game, dude. I love playing Destiny 1. The Taken King was, like I said, the best expansion. 2, the campaign, the Red War was great. Fighting Gary, the freaking Cabal leader. Then you had Forsaken with Kay dying and Ultra Sin being the bad guy. I think the raid there was the Last Wish. I forget the name. It was like the end was Riven. Riven, I think his name was. It was like a Destiny was more fantasy than sci-fi. So like they would have like Riven was like a space dragon, and there's all kinds of like tricks and like secrets in that raid too. Just had a really great time playing that franchise, man. Until next time, guys, take care. Bye.